Greetings captains, Gunship here. Hope you're doing well. Today we are having a review of the HMS Leopard. It's a great little ship, but before we begin showing you in-game footage and so on, I thought I would take you to this protection analysis. And as you can see, I have selected a US destroyer, a hull battle rating above, a 4.7, USS Cowell, well known, Sap Ammunition, 138mm of penetration at 2000 meters. Now, let's have a look. Nothing happened. You see my point. You know, this ship doesn't take you long to see, has an awful lot of air in it. Now, of course, if I shoot the gun, it gets black, but it will get repaired and you're good to go again. It has to be quite a specific hit, and quite a lot of the ship is actually underwater. If I shoot straight at the waterline here, it just hits the engine, but that's it. You know, yes, probably about here. I mean, the ammunition should be here somewhere down there, or I missed it, or I got it hit a little bit, but you get the idea. It's not that easy to damage, so there's a whole lot of air in this ship, which actually turns out to be a very good thing. So let's get into battle and see what else we can find out. Alright guys, so we're here into a battle. You see a ship just sinking in front of me. I did actually shoot that down in the HMS Leopard. However, he was not particularly shooting back, so it doesn't really count. Now we do have what appeared to be a bit of a bot there, but he's still there. I'm shooting at him at the moment because he's just a target I want to get out of the way. However, we do have this Cowell, and that's a real player. So what I'm doing first is I'm basically using my guns to try and take out his guns with, because he has more than I have. Not mine is dual anyway, but he's a whole battle rating higher. So you can see he's there at 80%. I've taken a little damage, but you know, it hasn't been too bad. Obviously I'm getting a bit of a hosing with AA from the other ship, the G-class at the moment. So I've taken the guns away on the Cowell, and he's firing, burning slightly. I'm just getting a few shots off to the G-class as well, turning my attention back to the Cowell and see what I can do. And if you just notice the rate of fire that I have from the Leopard, it's used just I think at 3.1 seconds, something like that, under ideal conditions, and it's pretty good. You know, you're talking about a reasonable destroyer there in front of me, and yeah, I'm making sure that his guns are not that operational, and then I just try and fill out the gaps, i.e. shooting where he is not hurt yet, and just see if I can essentially kill off the crew. I'm just using HE ammunition here, but the HE filler is pretty good on these ships. It's a bit over 2 kilos, so not too shabby, but it's really the rate of fire is good. And you see, I took care of him there. It's good. Now there is other G-class there, and yeah, he's just sitting there. 28%. It should be a fairly easy pickings just to finish him off as well. So it's a good example of how you best use this ship. Also quite like the look of it. I quite like the what's so-called green camouflage on top of the green deck. I think that looks quite neat. I did look up various records to see if they actually did a camouflage for the ship, but I couldn't actually see one, so I don't think there is an original camouflage to put on, but I might put a few decorations or decals along the side. So a good ship, nice to use. Now when it comes to AA, the AA is okay if you leave it alone. However, don't ever go frontal towards any planes, because if you can possibly see in there, the AA is set just behind the mast, so in reality the AA can't shoot straight ahead. It can only shoot in angles about, I don't know, 30-45 degrees to each side, and of course the whole of the rear. The other option you have for AA, and that is when you get the variable time ammunition fused HE round, is you could switch to the secondary, use that, and make sure you switch it so it only focuses on air, and just let your computer do the rest and take down enemies. I have tried to manually aim, and yes, you can do the radar lock and all the rest of it, but it's almost easier or better just to let the the computer do its work for you. So that's just a little hint there for you. So good ship on many ways. I do like it. It's the top of the British tree at the moment. If you use it together with the Peacock, then you have a good combination, because the Peacock is very strong, and of course get the boat spawn, where the Leopard only gets the destroyer spawn. But it can and will do a decent job, even if completely up-tiered into a 4.7, as you saw there. But I think most of my matches has probably been up-tiered in one way or another. If you're not up-tiered, very good. Other thing to bear in mind is the cost of the Sap Ammunition. Now, normally a round of Sap Ammunition might cost you 1 silver lines, but in the case of the Leopard, it's 60 silver lines. Now that's not a lot of lines, but if you shoot 500 rounds at 60 silver lines, these things start to add up. So just be aware of that. And also the TNT fill on the Sap Ammunition is really only just under a kilo. So actually the normal HC round is pretty good, pretty effective. But there can be cases where you just think, I'll just try and do that armor rack. And that's where I have I'll take a few rounds of Sap Ammunition with me, just to see if I can use that in that case. It's a nice ship. You should definitely get it if you can. It's a long grind. Our novice guardian would do something about that. But if you're interested enough, you will get there, and you won't be disappointed in the Leopard. A 3.7 is a very capable ship.